going to sound the bell. And do you have one of these? Bulletin? There, this lovely lady in the back has one. Not you. Was pointing past you. Oh, that clock is a little different from my clock.
11:02.
Uh-huh. It seems like a good time. You can, you've got a choice. You can either stay here, or you can stay back there and come up here for the child sliding. 100% up to you. It's more comfortable for me to sit back there and come up.
Yeah, I'd rather do that. You have freed me.
Abandon me finally.
I honor you. You have freed me.
You think I need again? I'm trying. I'm inviting. It's kind of like not playing along.
this is a new day. It is a day full of sound, light, and expectation. This day has been waiting for you. It has been waiting especially for you, to embrace you, to guide you. As surely as we belong to the universe, we belong together. We are here to transcend the isolated self, to reconnect, to know ourselves, to be at home here on earth, under the stars, linked with each other. Our opening hymn, number 123, Spirit of Life. And please, since it's a short hymn, we will sing it through twice in order to absorb its behest.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Spirit, come to me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Unitarian Universalist Church of Youngstown, Ohio, whether downstairs at 1105 Elm Street, on our Zoom channel, or however the World Wide Web has brought you to us. My name tag says Melissa Smith, and in channeling the spirit of the Muppet Elmo, I announced that my personal third-person pronouns are she, her, and hers. Today, Melissa is acutely aware of not being our most excellent, settled minister, the Reverend Joseph Boyd, who last week set high expectations in relationships to today's opening presentation of our theme of the month of August, Beyond Belief. That is, Melissa T. Smith has assumed the role of worship leader for today's service with the qualifications of an on-off affiliation with Unitarian Universalism since age 11, which is 61 years ago, and an intensive 3-year affiliation with the Central East region of the UUYO's program in commissioned lay ministry. As my eyes meet your eyes, my eye greets your eye in the hopes of creating a ever more inclusive we. If you pay attention to the announcements, and there may be other announcements.
Y'all close.
What?
Y'all close.
Oh, okay. Yeah. September 1st, right?
1 p.m.
Right. And as I recall, he played at your wedding, right?
No, that
No,
was
no.
J.D. Eicher.
Okay,
But
okay.
this is a friend of his.
Okay.
He's a Grammy-nominated artist. He's played with everybody there is.
Yes. And we were really fortunate to be able to have that. And for those of you who are new or want to refresh your memories of what happens in this church, after the service, there will be a meeting of the newcomers with Karen Lapidus. Any other announcements, anybody? Well, with that, we turn to Alexis Smith for our child sliding. Alexis is not a blood relative, despite the name Smith, which 1% of the American population is named Smith. But she is an elected affinity.
Thank you. Is this on? Hello, hello. Okay. Oh, jeez. Hi, I'm Dr. Alexis Smith. Good morning. So, in 2016, my son was born. I was married to a Muslim man from Jordan at the time. I myself was raised and confirmed in the Catholic Church, which I later left to become part of the Episcopal Church. People used to ask me whether I would convert to my husband's religion. While I have immense respect for the Muslim religion, I also value my own Christian beliefs, so I decided against it. It's not easy to have a blended family like this, but we made it work. When I found out I was pregnant, we chose a name that appeared in both the Bible and the Quran. Noah, or Noh, but I can't say it that right. I don't have that ability, like Arabic. We also decided that I would baptize Noah in a Christian church, and then he would be raised in the Muslim religion until he is 18, at which time he can choose what he believes. This compromise came about from my own religious journey. Over the years, I have questioned and continue to ask myself what I believe. I have read the Bible, listened to others' interpretations, and did my own research in search of answers. I have spoken to my Muslim, Jewish, and even agnostic friends to learn more about their beliefs. What I have found is that while there may be differences in the holy writings and rituals, the core of each of these belief systems is love, respect, and compassion, especially for the most vulnerable and marginalized among us. Today, I no longer hold tightly onto a specific label such as Christian or Episcopal. Yes, I personally believe in God and the Bible, but I am also open to the possibility that I may not be right. That other religions, and even those who are not religious, may be right too. Instead, I live my life by that core principle of love, and I don't get so bogged down in the details. To quote Bob Dylan, "We always did feel the same. We just saw it from a different point of view." Thank you.
Yes. We can't start without a chalice. At this point, would you rise and in mind or body and spirit to greet your neighbor, recognizing that in each other's eyes, minds, and hearts, we truly discover our faith. That was great. Yeah, you can hit you can hit the thing again whenever you think.
I don't think the microphone's on. What's that? You could hear. Oh, you could hear the microphone.
It doesn't always matter. They usually ignore it. Good morning. Good morning. For those of you who don't remember who I am, I'm Kathleen Hogue, and I'm the Director of Religious Exploration here. And today I come to you with a story by Rob Biddulph. He is an author from London, and this is called Odd Dog Out. The pictures are very important in here, so zoom in, okay? For busy dogs, a busy day of busy work and busy play. Swimmer, sailor, soldier, scout, they all blend in. No dog stands out. But wait, look closer. You can see one dog behaving differently. Someone on this busy street is dancing to a different beat. When they fly high, this dog flies low. When they say kick, this dog says throw. It's very sad, cue violin. But this small dog does not fit in. It's true, she sniffs. I've tried my best, but I'm not made like all the rest. And that's why I've made up my mind to leave this town, my home, behind. On her own and out of place, she sighs a sigh and packs her case. Through winter, springtime, summer, fall. From ocean deep to mountain tall. She walks till she can walk no more. Is this the place she's looking for? It says, welcome to fabulous Doggywood. Well, bless my bow wow, can it be 100 others just like me? I play guitar, I ride a bike, I fit right in. We're all alike. But wait, look closer. Can you see one dog behaving differently? Somebody this afternoon is whistling a different tune. Here's something she knows all about, a classic case of odd dog out. Poor thing, she says, I feel for you. I once was an outsider too. Oh, not at all. You've got it wrong. I really feel like I belong. I love to stand out from the crowd, and so should you. Stand tall, be proud. She tilts her head, she pricks her ear, and suddenly it's crystal clear. That dog is right. It's plain to see. There's nothing wrong with being me. Her little tail begins to wag. She smiles a smile and grabs her bag. I'm sorry, but I have to fly. Good luck, my friend. They wave goodbye. From night and moon to light and sun, her journey home has just begun. For busy dogs, a busy day. But look who's back. Hip hooray. They cheer, they clap, they whoop, they shout. We've really missed our odd dog out. You made us all appreciate that being different is really great. It's true. Look closer. Can you see? More dogs behaving differently. Each one a doggy superstar. So blaze a trail. Be who you are. The end. So today I'm not going to invite the kids up to help me read the covenant because we have newbies and I don't want to put anybody on the spot. So can you read the covenant with me? It's in your order of service. Love is the spirit of this church and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. And now's the part of the service where we sing our children out, and those of you who want to accompany me to class, we're going to go through this door over here. Okay? And that song is in your order of service. Go now in peace,
go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Our church is supported thoroughly through the donations of our members. This means that there is no corporate sponsor. I learned that a long time ago when I questioned this. Anyway, we take the offering to support the church in the greater Mahoning Valley. And this week, the Give Away the Plate Fund is going to the UUYO operating fund. So if you wish to make a donation to the church, you may do so. And if you wish to go to the church or to your pledge, please mark that on your donation. Thank you.
I chose the opening hymn, Spirit of Life, as a way of inviting us into a spirit of meditation throughout the service. Hold fast to the Spirit of life that has come unto you, and prepare to absorb the collective spirit in the sanctuary.
A reading from Ralph Waldo Emerson. A person will worship something, have no doubt about that. We may think our tribute is paid in secret in the dark recesses of our hearts, but it will out. That which dominates our imaginations and our thoughts will determine our lives and character. Therefore, it behooves us to be careful what we worship, for what we are worshiping, we are becoming. And the second reading is from Sophia Lynn Faz, from Today's Children, Yesterday's Heritage. It matters what we believe. From the point of view of this study, one's religious belief or one's religion is the gestalt of all his former specific beliefs. One's faith is the philosophy of life that gathers up into one emotional whole, and sometimes, although rarely, into a reasoned whole, all the specific beliefs one holds about many kinds of things in many areas of life.
When Reverend Joseph met with the worship associates to plan summer services, he suggested the topic that is the title of my remarks today, Beyond Belief. This phrase is the title of an online magazine out of the church in Tulsa that Reverend Joseph was affiliated with before coming to Youngstown. It struck me immediately as representative of the essence of Unitarian Universalism as a non-creedal religion. Creed has at its roots credo in Latin, meaning I believe. Here at UUYO, we often say, it does not matter what you believe. Rather, your beliefs are what you hold most sacred, and we give them sanctuary. They become part of our stories, of the stories that we tell as individual human beings. What matters to us all as UUs, the stuff that truly, deeply matters and unites us, is not beliefs, but values. How we treat each other, how we act in the world. In the formulation newly adopted by the National Unitarian Universalist Association, these shared values are interdependence, equity, transformation, pluralism, generosity, and justice. And they are represented by the design that you have on the front of your order of service by the artist Tanya Weber. Independence outlined in orange, equity in red, transformation in purple, pluralism in blue, generosity in green, and justice in yellow, surrounding a chalice with the word love over the flame. If you've been paying attention, which I can't say I always have, these values have been the monthly themes that we have been discussing in the past year. Beyond belief, as a catchphrase, immediately invites an expanded imagination. Various Google and YouTube searches revealed for me, first of all, a short-lived television series entitled Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. And second, something that I believe undergirds the current reworking of UU principles, the body of work by Unitarian Universalist theologian Thandika. Thandika was born in the United States as Sue Booker, and the Reverend Desmond Tutu rechristened her Thandika, meaning a beloved or one who is loved by God. Thandika's theological work considers, quote, the role of feeling, emotion in human religious and spiritual experiences. I imagine that Reverend Joseph will have more to say about this in coming weeks, or you can find a couple of sermons given in other churches on YouTube. For today, I will mostly share my story, my journey into the great beyond belief, and about what inclined me to engage with this topic. Traveling spiritually to a new beyond inevitably entails revisiting the past. The twin belief systems that shaped my parents' religious upbringing were Baptist and Episcopalian, although I was not baptized into any denomination. We attended services in whatever church had the best music. In the summer of 1963, we moved from Dudley, Massachusetts, where the church's minister was Presbyterian, to Wayland, Massachusetts, where the spire of the First Parish Unitarian held pride of place. To serve in the transition, my parents sent me to a 6-week overnight camp in which we had weekly chapel on Sunday evenings. I loved Sunday mornings when some of us would get together for an hour of hymn singing in order to choose the hymns that we would sing at the chapel ceremony. This is one of my favorite activities. Many of the hymns have been reworked to reflect UU perspectives and are in our gray hymnal. I also loved at this summer camp the outdoor pine chapel and this setting of the camp chapel. But with the worship service led by the camp director, we had to recite the Apostles' Creed. While at age 11, I was willing to endorse the opening, "I believe in God the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth," there were specific moments later in which I would grow silent, refusing to partake in certain other I believes. I would silently insist that not only Jesus Christ, but all of us, sons and daughters, were children of God, and that no Holy Ghost had participated in anyone's conception. I was also unwilling to believe in any descents into hell, even if only for 3 days. I would not believe, under any circumstances, in the Holy Ghost, the Holy Catholic Church, or the communion of saints. Having been raised in a staunchly Protestant household and community, I felt that anything smacking of Catholicism was anathema. However, I enthusiastically endorsed the forgiveness of sins and the life everlasting. These words, which ended the recitation of the Apostles' Creed, reconciled me to the summer camp community. Many years later, when my younger brother Jared, whose experience of religious education had been exclusively Unitarian Universalist and, under my father's tutelage, extremely rational, this was our father, he embarked on a career as a lawyer in San Francisco and opted for baptism in the evangelical New Age Church of Christ. I joined my parents in the unsuccessful attempt to save him from being born again. I penned a non-apostolic counter creed based on my memories of summer camp. Unfortunately, the unpublished manuscript has been lost with the passage of time. When my family moved to Wayland, Massachusetts, I lost my place. It was just 2 years after the Unitarians and the Universalists had merged and created a common purpose. That merger, with some revisions made in 1985, resulted in the covenant between the UUA and its member congregation, which is printed in the opening pages of our gray hymnal. Singing the Living Tradition. So you may refer to those. The two readings you heard earlier are from figures that shaped much of common UU practice in the past 2 centuries. The Emerson quote came to me recently as one of the first light meditations I received daily from the minister Galen Gerngrich of All Souls UU, New York City, whose worship I attended at GA in 2020. Ralph Waldo Emerson, of course, was one of the most prominent Unitarian theologians at the beginning of the 19th century and was a prime believer in the use of reason in theological matters. Sophia Lyons-Flaws, an early mid-century author of Today's Children, Yesterday's Heritage, also wrote The Church Across the Street, which constituted the curriculum of the RE program for 7th and 8th graders. And she arguably had more to do with what has kept me returning to UU throughout my adult life. We read and discussed histories and theologies of other denominations and visited their churches. A few years later, when one of my friends, a Catholic, expressed a desire to join me in our church choir, she was advised by her priest that she would be committing a mortal sin. And that was at the time of the ecumenical movement instituted by Pope John the 23rd. At that point, I decided to continue exploring other religious traditions, but that my faith would always remain open to religious inquiry. Covenant, the promises we make to one another, keeps us grounded in this faith tradition. When I was offered a job in the Department of Foreign Languages and Literatures at YSU, ascertaining that there was a UU church in the vicinity of the university was critical to establishing a home base. Ever since I joined the Youngstown Church in 1988, I have ever been astonished by and proud of the degree to which its members are actively engaging themselves in the life of the community. Here we are, inverting the process of visiting other churches, attempting to create a home for those spiritual wanderers who wander in. And in my retirement from YSU, prevented by physical disability from the kind of foreign travel and study of earlier years, I find it a real privilege to follow and connect with beloved members of the community of UUYO and the broader resources of the UUA. For the past 4 years, I have been attending the General Assembly of the Unitarian Universalist Association, mostly in virtual format, with the exception of a couple of days in Pittsburgh last year. Revision of Article 2, which has the covenant between the UUA and its member congregations, has been a major focus of the Assembly throughout that time. As with other major issues studied by the UUA, it is a multi-year process, culminating in a vote at General Assembly. Min Raley and I served as the 2 delegates from our congregation with voting privileges. Adopting the changes in which are resulted in the symbol that you've seen required a 70% positive vote by members of the delegation. As pro and con discussions continued over several days. It was clear that a substantial number of the delegates had serious concerns, largely relating to the abandonment of the seven principles, as well as the proposed Eighth Amendment, which our congregation adopted, anti-racism. Could this be a further instance of going beyond belief into a new dimension? I felt on the cusp of a generational divide and considered abstaining. In the end, Min and I both cast a vote in favor of the revisions, which passed 80-20 at this year's General Assembly. The contemporary reworking of Article 2 of the UUA bylaws was tied to bringing the denomination into the world we live in today, appealing to a broader, more diverse public. It places historical influences farther in the background in favor of a more forceful, progressive stance. But at the center, the concept of liberating love addresses the growing population that consider themselves spiritual but not religious. I hope that it may expand our circle of our covenant. As love is the spirit of this church, we aspire to a world where all genuinely dwell in peace, seek the truth in love, and help one another. Please pray with me. Spirit of life that has come to us and lingered during this hour of worship, continue, please, to sing in our hearts all the stirrings of compassion. Move in our hands to give life the strength of justice. Amen, and so be it. Our closing hymn is number 187, not as it's printed, and it sounds along the ages. This hymn is especially dear to me, for it describes the evolution of the Spirit through history. A line in the second verse about the oracles of Concord I take to refer to Emerson, Thoreau, and the 19th century transcendentalists, many of them who lived in Concord, Massachusetts. At the time of my introduction to Unitarianism, 2 miles north of us along Concord Road was Walden Pond, and 6 miles farther to Connecticut Center. So, Concord Center. So, I hope you enjoyed this hymn.
It sounds along the ages, soul answering to soul. It kindles on the pages of every Bible scroll. The psalmist heard and sang it, from martyrs' lips it broke, and prophet tongues outrang it, till sleeping nations woke. From Sinai's cliffs it echoed, it breathed from Buddha's tree. It charmed the Athens market, it hallowed Galilee. The hammer stroke of Luther, the pilgrim's seaside prayer, the oracles of concord, one holy word declare. It calls and lo, new justice, it speaks and lo, new truth. In ever nobler stature and unexhausted youth, forever on resounding and knowing not of time, our laws but catch the music of its eternal chime.
The light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we keep in our hearts until we are together again. I'm sorry. I did have a benediction, and I lost it. Oh, yes. As you depart, remember the one great fact: you are loved and never truly alone.